All right, thank you, Prof. We have a hand.
Sure.
I just phone. You can put your mic on.
Good afternoon. This is William Madiba. I'm in the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Thank you for the information presentation. It sparked a lot of questions. One of the molecules, radioactive molecules that you mentioned was gallium, and you mentioned that it treats infection. So I'd like to know the spectrum of selectivity of gallium. Is it more, effective in gram-negative or gram-positive, or what type of bacteria was it used on? And the second question would be, if one has to use radioactive pharmaceuticals with anesthetics, which is also known to have some sort of anti-proliferative effect, would that be beneficial for patients with cancer? Thank you.
Okay, the first question I did get, the second one maybe, so let me deal with the first question, then I'll ask you just to clarify the second one, because the line is not that good. So on the first question, a good one, so the gallium UBI is specifically gram-positive. So we're looking at Staph aureus, and it's, from a clinical perspective, it also seems to be selective for TB. It will therefore not pick up E. coli. I think that answered that question. Can you just repeat the second one?
Okay, the second one is, if you have to use, like in a clinical setting, and you have to use a local anesthetic, because they've also been documented to have anti-proliferative effects, like antimicrobial effects, would you recommend the use of radioactive pharmaceuticals with that? So is there any studies that one can look into in terms of how to keep the, the area in aseptic?
Okay, I'm not entirely getting the question, but let me try to see what I can contribute. So as it stands, gallium-68 is only a positron emission agent, which means that it will be useful for imaging only. And there is, of course, it would make sense to use the same principle of theranostics. If it turns out that your uptake is specific enough. At this point in time, it's not the case. So we would not be going forward with therapy with that as yet. I think it will be too much off-target uptake as well. I hope I've answered it.
Yes, we have. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, then we'll take one last question from Clint. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Clint, based at Radio-pharmacy in UK, Southampton General Hospital. And I'm sorry, I just caught your talk sort of midway. My question is basically based on how widely used is technetium within South Africa, because I'm currently involved in manufacturing with technetium. Today, we've actually been looking at trying to move to attaching technetium to PSMA. Dare I say that, because I've signed a non-disclosure as part of what we're doing here, but also simply because a lot of institutions here have looked at trying to set up gallium, which for our hospital, when we were looking at it, it would have costed around 500K in terms of pounds, sort of setup costs and other things as well. So I'm also involved in manufacturing lutetium PSMA, but my question really is about how widely used is technetium within sort of the SADC region. I know in Zimbabwe we probably don't have that at the moment, but in terms of technetium, I would have thought that might be one of the go-to places to go to at the moment. I'm also involved with manufacturing with thorium at the moment as well. So I might be waffling, but just trying to make sure.
No, I think your point is valid. And as I said at the beginning, I'm trying to sort of give a flavor of what's new. Technetium is absolutely the workhorse. You're absolutely right. The number of SPECT cameras in South Africa outnumber at least 3, if it's not 4 to 1 to PET cameras. So technetium very much is the standard radiopharmaceutical used, and it's used very extensively. NTP supplies generators on a weekly basis for the local market, and I think even beyond. So yeah, and technetium PSMA has been, we've even together with the hospital at the Steve Biko, we have done this. There many patients a number of years ago as well. We prefer gallium because of the resolution that it gives in terms of the lesions. You can definitely see more lesions, and as we progress through clinical trials with the actinium, there's certainly a demand for PET scans over technetium scans. But but I think your point is valid, and I didn't dwell much on that in this talk, as technetium is maybe not so new, but your point is 100% valid. Technetium is by far routinely used more than PET.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. Because I know when I was at King's College doing my studies, there was always the idea behind SPECT versus PET. And currently the consultants I'm with, because of gallium being so expensive to set up, we've sort of moved into that point where we're thinking, well, if we can at least see the tumors, that means we've imaged with technetium, we can now give something like lutetium PSMA, which can both give beta emission and also give an image at the same time. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, so yeah, technetium, of course, is useful in that case, but and then I know the Eggleton Ziegler generators are very expensive. The ETEMA generator is less expensive, and we are fortunate that we can get that. So we do not pay that much for a gallium scan. Okay,
that's fine.
Let's stop. I think we're way over the time. Apologies, Manali.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prof, for making yourself available to talk to us. So without further ado, we'll move on to the next speaker, who is Mr. Martin Magwaza, and he will be talking about increasing access to radiopharmaceuticals in Africa. So Mr. Martin, you can share your screen, and the floor is yours.